Good morning, YouTubers. T-Square here with T-Square Talk. Hope everybody's having a great day. Got a great video planned out a little bit today. Even though I'm going to be jumping around, there's a couple of key things that I wanted to kind of talk about and show you guys and just kind of let you guys think about this, including the very first one being as I was getting all my windows set up, I looked at this and I said, what? 38.019 trillion? How is that possible? I was like, didn't we just look at it and estimate yesterday that it would be like a week or two before we would get up to 38 trillion? I was like, we blew right through 38 trillion. How did that happen? How is that possible? Nah, I had to have made a mistake somewhere. So I looked at yesterday's video that I posted 15 hours ago. And y'all can look at this. 15 hours ago, well, 24 hours ago for you guys, although technically it might be 25 hours since it was like an hour late posting yesterday. That I'll explain that here in just a minute. But I did a video yesterday at about this time, and I said big dip / correction, and I went through our normal type of stuff that we talked about, and I looked in the U.S. Debt Clock website, and I actually have it set up right here. But look what it is today: 38 trillion dollars and 19 billion, 38 trillion, 19 billion, and so on and so on. I looked yesterday. This was my yesterday's video. 37,925. We went up almost $100 billion in one day. Look, you can see it right here. The big dip / correction. 15 hours ago, I posted this. 37.9 trillion. There's no way. How did we go up to 38 trillion in one day and the government is shut down? What is this telling you guys? We're going to talk a little bit about that today. We're going to talk a little bit about the silver price and what the heck is going on. I've been hearing a lot of people tell me that it doesn't make sense. The price goes down and all of a sudden premiums shoot up. We're going to explain that a little bit on what's going on, because let's not be fooled. Do you think the big dealers don't know what's going on? They know as much as we know. They actually probably know more because they're seeing, they're putting in orders, they're understanding what's going on. They know this is not sustainable. It's not. You can't have your debt go up by $100 billion. At that rate, I'm curious to see if tomorrow we're going to hit $38.1 trillion. This is exactly what we talk about. It happens slow at first and then all at once. There is something big coming, and a lot of people are totally going to miss the boat on what's happening because they're scared the silver price is going to go down. And I'll be honest with you, I sometimes get a little nervous. I'm not panicking nervous, but I want every penny I can get. I know that every penny that I put in precious metals is an opportunity for me. And I'll be honest, I sometimes do sell sometimes. Just yesterday, I had a friend tell me, I really want to get a little silver. I've been maybe putting it off a little bit. What do I got to do to get some? And I said, well, I just got this in. I happen to pay $51.50. It's physical silver. I don't see anything online much cheaper right now. If you want it, you can have it for exactly what I paid and just cover my lunch. And he's like, for real? I said, absolutely. And keep in mind, the price is going down, but the premiums are going up. And so he took it. And I don't know if $51.50 is a good deal. Each person will have to make their own decision on what they define as a good deal. I bought it because I thought it was a good deal. And I was willing to let it go because, let's be honest, I can find another good deal. I find good deals all the time, especially because this is pretty much what I do. I keep up with all this stuff. People write to me. I had one person actually write to me, and she basically said that there was a place where she had sent me the link, and they were giving away, at the time, silver price was a lot lower. They were giving away koalas, I think. think they were koalas. They might have been kangaroos. But they were literally like 50 cents over spot. And so I messaged the guy and I said, I'm interested in 3 rolls. If I buy 3 rolls, can I have the box even though I know, or 3 tubes, even though I know you still have 7 tubes left? And he goes, if you want the box, I can give you the box for free. I'll just ship it with your 3 rolls. And I said, absolutely. I said, I'll take them. And I couldn't believe it. $32 a piece. It came out to like 50 cents over spot. This was a while back, remember. But for it to be that cheap, I couldn't believe it. I actually thought they were fake at first, but multiple people had already ordered some, and they all said that they were legit. And so I said, well, I'll give it a try. I mean, I'll fight it later with my card if that happens. And sure enough, they were legit, and it was a great deal. Now, keep in mind, that was when spot was cheaper. Since then, we have had a real big run up on silver. We seen a slight slowdown in sales now that the prices dip back below 50. There's a lot of people calling places to look to sell before. A week ago, they were getting calls all the time. Today, they're not getting as many calls. I'm not at all worried about that. I'm really not, because I think this is not sustainable, and we're going to see a rush up. There's too many things going on right now. Seeing the U.S. national debt jump that much in such a short time, if I didn't have it on recording, I would have said no way. But I recorded it last night, and I'm recording it again today, and I can see the difference. And I said, man, this is unbelievable. Was that just a quick little, they threw in somehow $100 billion to thinking nobody would notice it, or $85 billion at the speed we're going up? I said, what the heck? So I'm curious to see what it's going to look like tomorrow now. And this is going to become a major talking point on the channel, because a lot of stuff comes down to this is not sustainable. Now, I didn't say it yet, and I always try to say it at the very beginning of the video, because literally 60% of the people that watch these videos are not subscribed to the channel. We're trying to grow the channel. I literally try my best to go out of my way to put up videos every day. I'm thinking about going back to the weekend. I do Monday through Friday now, but I'm looking at going back into the weekend and doing them, because there's so much excitement going on. So please take a quick minute, help out the channel by hitting that subscribe button, and leave me a comment. You can let me know your thoughts. I try to reply back to as many comments as I can. However, right now comments are coming in extremely fast, so I might not get to your comment right off. If you have a question, write it in the comments. A lot of times I do answer these questions, whether I answer them in a comment or I mention them in the video. Kind of like I had a question today where someone said, what do you mean digital land? You can't buy digital land. Where do you buy digital land? And I had to reply, I'm sure some of y'all that play video games or watch a lot of different stuff online have seen the commercial, doop, 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 buy digital land. This guy called the HOA on me. And so I bought his property in Atlas Earth. And now I'm getting paid real money every day. What they don't tell you is you're only getting paid like 2 cents a day. You're not making a ton of money. However, it is true you can buy digital land, get paid digital rent in their own little crypto coin that's essentially based off thin air. You can open a wallet. You can set up a transfer account. You can transfer those little coins into fractional Bitcoin or whatever. But at 2 cents a day, I mean, obviously that's if you've got one property. I went on one day and I downloaded the game to try it out. I do like playing video games, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Well, let me check it out. And then I was like, oh, my word, I got to put money in now to buy fake land. And they've tweaked it a little bit where if you want to like spend, I don't know, tons of time a day to get free coins, you can. But yeah, people sell digital land, and here's the thing. Digital land is clearly not worth more than real land. Digital sneakers for an avatar are clearly not worth more than real sneakers. Digital pew-pews on a game or outfits like on a game like Fortnite that you spend money and you can get special weapons, you can get special avatars or clothing, gear, whatever, suits. are not going to be worth more than the real thing. So for people to think that digital gold is worth more than the real thing, need to really think their thought process. And I understand society has, I'm going to say, dumbed people down to what's real and what's not real. The world is manipulated. And some people believe that this can go on forever. It can't. It is not sustainable. In no way, shape, or form can you manipulate something and have it be sustainable. I don't care what anybody tells me. I explained it to a buddy of mine that owns a restaurant. He's like, I don't know. I think Bitcoin can keep going up forever. It can't. You cannot have something. Once people realize it's not backed to anything, the only thing propping it up is that there's not many of them, and there's good salesmen that are pumping this stuff. It is crazy to me that people do not realize what a thin air asset is. It's tulip mania. Back in the early years, I can't remember what year it was. I did a whole video on it when I researched it. People were buying tulip bulbs for more and more money. And then they would sell these things for more and more money. And the only thing that kept it going was speculators. That's it. I mean, here's the thing. When you have a crypto coin that people are mining it, they're losing their wallets. Some of it's getting burned. Some of it's disappearing. There's only so much. There is naturally going to be less and less of it every day. So, yes, I understand. It's scarcer, which means it should be worth more. But they're putting money into something that has no real physical value. There is no, oh, well, it's the energy that's consumed. You've already consumed the energy. Therefore, you can't get nothing out of it. All you can do is pass it on to another person that is hoping to pay more for it. The bigger fool theory. If you dig a hole in the ground, that's it. The hole's there. The energy you use to dig the hole has already been consumed. You've used it. If the hole does you no good, then what? It doesn't accomplish anything. People don't understand these things. And therefore, eventually, we're going to see cryptocurrencies take a huge hit. But people don't understand. You know, real gold has real value. You need gold, you need silver to do different things. If I want to propose to a woman and get married, I need a ring. Well, the ring could be made out of gold. It could be made out of silver. I see some people now use silver rings. I don't know if that necessarily is because people can't afford the real gold ring, or if that's because people say, you know what, our symbol. I had one friend, he asked me my thoughts on a silver ring. I said, you know, that's between you and your wife. However, here's the thing. He realized, he goes, I don't want to spend all that money on a ring when we could use that money to put away and create memories together, do things together, build a house together. He recognized that the value is there in tangible items, in memories. I'll be honest, I have some friends tell me that I am addicted to wealth, essentially. I am trying to stack more and more to where I will sacrifice. I have one friend that gives me a hard time. He's like, you can't keep sacrificing eating ramen noodle and peanut butter and jelly just so you can get a few more ounces of silver. That's totally not healthy. What good is it? And I guess I understand, but, you know, part of me just likes ramen noodle. There's something about the salt content in it that I just love. And it could be because I drink tons of water. I drink a couple gallons of water a day. But I want people to understand real wealth, it has to be real. Digits on a screen don't matter until you cash in those digits on a screen. Energy in a battery, it's what you're going to do with the energy in the battery. That's what makes it usable. Once the energy's been consumed on a creation of a Bitcoin, solving a hash problem to maybe generate a Bitcoin, I mean, it's been already expended. With real gold, people need these things. With real silver, they need them. Then they need silver for satellites, Tomahawk missiles, cell phones, solar panels, EV vehicles, not to mention the numerous technologies that are coming out due to the thermodynamic properties of silver. And a lot of people are totally missing that out. I don't even think I finished saying, please make sure you hit that subscribe button for the channel. Hit that thumbs up button. Leave me a comment and let me know your thoughts. I'll try not to say it again until the very end. But I think I kind of got off track because it's just totally mind-blowing to me. You know, we got silver right now at 48.44. Well, we've seen a big run-up. We've seen it up to 54.50. We're now at 48.44. To me, that is a huge deal. And I understand when I hear people say, well, now the premiums went up and the price went down. That is true. A lot of companies have raised their premiums. But it's not because the price went down. That's what you need to understand. It's because the price went down too fast. They have a bunch of silver that they probably paid spot price for, or just under, maybe a hair under spot. And there's a cost to that. There really is. They've got to get that stuff. They've got to produce something. They've got to ship it. They've got to send it to people. There's a cost there. And now they've got too high overhead cost on those ounces. So they're not going to give those ounces away even cheaper, despite what the paper price says. And the paper price did go a whole lot lower. I think we got down to $47. We had gold go all the way down to $4,004. That was insane. $4,004. Now, we're up another $87 right now from the low. You know, and some people thinking, you know, it's over. I don't think so. I don't think it is. Not with everything coming down the pipeline. We got the U.S. deficit going down. Going up, I should say. We're just burying ourselves in debt as we just dig deeper and deeper and deeper. You know, and here's the thing. It's not going to end well. 38 trillion. That's bad. We got the government shut down. People of the world, countries of the world looking at us. Look, we're now at 38 trillion, 20 billion and climbing. We got the government shut down. Countries around the world are looking at us. Are they going to get their act together? Or what's going to happen? All we can do is continue to dig. Now, I'll be honest. I saw something yesterday about us sending money to, I think it was El Salvador. I don't remember what country it was. And Trump got on there and said, yeah, these people are fighting for their lives. They're starving. If we can help them for a certain amount of money, we're going to help them. And I'm all for that. Don't get me wrong. But here's the thing people have to understand. This stuff comes at a cost. Who's going to pay it? Who is going to pay it? They're going to just keep printing it and just pass the bill on to somebody. Whether it's you, the American citizen, with higher taxes, whether it's just print more money out of thin air and water the money down and make it worth less. People don't understand. And a lot of people just don't really know what's going on. I had someone leave me a comment yesterday. If Jim Cramer has a TV show, why would they let him have a TV show if he's wrong all the time? Because the people that own the network benefit by him basically saying what they tell him to say. He is a puppet. He is a snake oil salesman, in my opinion. He is going up there for a paycheck. He will tell you, and don't get me wrong, I used to watch his show all the time. I will say he has some fancy lights. He has some fancy little gadgets. Sell, 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 sell. Buy, 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 buy. Welcome to Squawk Box Money. You know, you hear these things. It's exciting. It's like when you go to some of these churches now, because I have one friend, he gives me a hard time because I keep bumping around churches. And he's like, dude, why do you keep jumping to different churches? Because I'm looking for something. I'm looking for something missing in my life. And I'm trying to find a specific church that I don't want to say jive with, but that I will think follows the Bible's teachings. And when I listen to some of those churches, I feel like it's a motivational speech. Yes, there's little things in the speech that mention God and talk about the Bible. But when I hear stuff like, God wants you to be successful, He wants you to make a lot of money, He wants every one of you to be a millionaire, that's not what the Bible teaches. Now don't get me wrong, I personally want to see every one of you become millionaires, and I think it's just a matter of time with silver price. But where I'm going with this is when I listen to Jim Cramer on Squawk Box Money, that's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing him saying what they're telling him to say. It's not a secret that the guy's wrong more times than he's right, which to me is like putting a kid or a trained monkey to call stocks. Okay, this one, flip a coin. We'll flip a coin. Oh, buy this one. Oh, sell that one, whatever. A lot of these salespeople, they make commissions. You know, every time you buy a stock, they make a commission. When you sell that stock, they make a commission. They're not in the building you wealth attitude. They're in the make the commission attitude. And here's the thing. If they're smart with their money, they can make a lot of money in a short amount of time and then move on. And some people have the attitude, if I can lie to people and get my way and make a lot of money right off, who cares? I'll be living my own life here in 5 years, so it doesn't matter. Jim Cramer has gotten a lot of fame and fortune essentially off being wrong. I'll give you another scenario. The bank bailouts. In 2008, you had banks getting bailed out. Banks that were going and getting bailed out, their high-up executives were still getting $1 million bonuses. What for what? You were wrong. You didn't do your job. You lost them money to the point where if the government didn't bail you out, the bank would have lost everything. People would have lost everything. The people that were tied to the bank. And I know people say, oh, it's no big deal because we have FDIC insurance. FDIC insurance does not have enough money for everybody. The idea that FDIC insurance is going to be there when all the banks start dropping like dominoes is ludicrous. It really is. And people don't see how much bad is going on right now. It's not a secret why people are buying gold and silver. It's not a secret at all. People are buying gold and silver because it's sound money. It has been sound money since the beginning of time. And people realize when things go bad, people want security. They want safety. And that's what you find when you buy precious metals. Now, I'm not knocking out any specific metals. I'm not just saying, I might say gold and silver. I'm not going to lie to you. Platinum has done well. Palladium has done well. Copper has done well. Silver has done well. Even zinc has done well. And they're all just different levels. You know, I have some people say, no, gold is the only answer. I said, I guess I can see where you say that, but it wasn't the best answer. What do you mean it's at over $4,000? Dollar for dollar, silver has done the best now. Silver has. We've taken a big hit this week, but you know what? We were up so much. What is a good year to people? And I'm not convinced that this entire drop, I did a video on that recently. This drop was too publicized. It was publicized for a reason. Oh, man, that would have looked cool. 38 trillion, 20 billion, 20 million, 20,000, and $20. That would have been cool if I could have screenshotted it right there. But you only get one shot. And once you pass that, now we're already up to 2021. You know, once you pass that number, trying to screenshot it, you missed it. And I believe the same thing is going to be with silver, with gold. Once you've missed this deal, you've missed it. Yeah, you can probably still buy gold. You can probably still buy silver. You're going to pay more, though. The price is going to go back up, in my personal opinion. Let me grab a quick drink. You know, people don't realize what's happening. We're being played. This was a huge psyop. Let's beat the price down with short positions. We'll use the beat down to cover other short positions. And then we'll hope we can beat it down again with something that will happen over the next, I don't know, whatever, week or two. They're not going to be able to beat it. They're not going to be able to beat it down. They're going to probably end up cutting interest rates soon. If they cut interest rates, that naturally will hurt the dollar. And once they cut interest rates, yeah, you'll see the dollar climb. That's why I don't think this dip is over. I talked to a buddy of mine today. He goes, honestly, I don't know how, but I think it's going to go down to 45. I said, really? I said, why? He goes, because when it all goes down, I think they're going to try to beat it down a little bit more. I don't know. He didn't have a theory. He just said 45. I said, you've got to put a guess in. He goes, I don't really feel comfortable guessing a number. I said, dude, your life depends on it. You got to put a guess in. It doesn't really depend on it, but I said, pretend it does. You got to put a guess in. He said 45. And I said, okay, so 45. What could potentially bring it down to 45? The dollar getting stronger between now and the Fed meeting. As we lead into the Fed meeting, we see the price drop a little bit more. And then all of a sudden, they cut interest rates, and we see a spike start forming up. Do you think people ain't going to buy silver? Do you think when older people get their money in on the first of the month or their paychecks on Friday, do you think they're not going to purchase a little bit of silver? A little bit. Do you think big companies that realize what's going on here aren't going to like stock up a little bit of silver while it's cheap? I mean, they would probably love to see it. I had someone tell me, bring it on. I actually figured with what WFG meant. I had like 10 comments that said, let's effing go. And absolutely. I mean, that's how I feel when it comes to silver. Beat the price down. Let's go. Beat it down as much as you can. Show me what you can do. Give the stuff away for free. I'll take more of it. They're not going to give it away for free. They're not going to beat it down to $15. They're not going to beat it down to $20. I mean, it won't. Think about it. We had huge shortages around the world last week. Now everything is fixed? People would have to be insane to believe this. But there are a lot of people that can't think. They would love to have they would love to have society just do as they're told, go to work, watch some movies, and spend their paycheck on useless junk. And just keep going to work, keep producing like cows on a farm. Just keep producing your milk. Do as you're told. Don't ask questions. Don't make waves. Don't try to get ahead. Don't try to own the farm. Just do as you're told. That's how they think. And I really don't care. Someone's going to say, oh, well, not everybody thinks like that. What do you think about this person? He's fighting for Americans. Or this person, he's doing a good job for his country. Or whatever the case may be. At the end of the day, I'm not even convinced that they really control stuff. The Federal Reserve, there's absolutely nothing federal about it. It is a private bank with the agreement, the exclusive permission to print U.S. dollars. They say they're printing this many. Do you believe it? I mean, how do you explain $100 billion in one day? You could clock the speed right here of this, and I'm not convinced we're going to see $100 billion tomorrow. I mean, but if we do, I'm going to say something's going on because this, I mean, I could sit here for an hour video and watch this go up and then multiply the climb by, although maybe it's going a little faster now. I don't know. Because actually, when I started a little bit ago, I remember saying 38, 20, 20. Now we're at 38, 20, 36. I mean, by the end of this video, this could be 38, 21. And if that's the case, in roughly an hour video, well, then 24 hours in a day, we could be at close to 38.1 by tomorrow at this time of filming the video. So we're going to see how this is playing out. But if that's the case, I mean, how fast does this have to climb before people wake up? Think about it. If this starts going up $100 billion every couple days, and we start seeing $1 trillion come up every, I'm not going to say 10 because you have to leave a little room. Let's just say every 15 days we start going up $1 trillion. When the government shut down, can you imagine what's happening? It's insane. It really is. And people don't see it. All these numbers just keep growing. I don't know. This is supposed to be usdebtclock.org. I think org always, no, gov would mean gov, G-O-V. I don't know org, what that stands for. But think about that. Look at what's going on. Our U.S. debt to GDP in 1960 was 52%. In 1980, it climbed to 34%. In 20, it climbed to 55%. Today, it's 120% of our debt. Now, what's interesting is 60 was 52. We actually went down here from 1980. We're at 34. 20 years later, we didn't quite double it, but we went up more. 25 years, we've more than doubled it. This is not going to end well. Jumping down real quick, let me take a look at paper to silver. So paper to silver is still sitting on 359 to 1. And they're basing that off of the paper contracts that are in the market. However, I actually think that some of these numbers are even skewed now a little bit. I don't even think these are 100% legit. Although that's a new window too, the DeFi banking feature. DeFi. Savings per an adult, 8,600. I would be very curious how many adults have $8,630 saved. I mean, I guess if you're taking the average and you're counting Zuckerberg's and Warren Buffett's and stuff, maybe that might average. But if you're taking the actual people, I don't think the majority have that. U.S. federal interest savings per year. U.S. total interest savings per year. Savings per adult. I mean, some of these things, I don't know where they're pulling these numbers from, but this is just growing too fast. This is not going to end well. Taking a quick look at the DXY index, the dollar index. 99.1. Hey, we're about ready to hit 100 again. And it would make sense just a week before the Fed. It makes sense that they're going to try to make the dollar look good a week before the Fed. And if the dollar looks good, you know what's going to look bad? Silver. They're going to beat up silver. Oh, hey, look. 48.35. Actually, let's see if that's accurate first. 48.3. Okay, so we're seeing the backwardation go away, even though these numbers are totally manipulated, in my opinion. And I know some people out there, why do you think it's manipulated? We've done 100 videos on that. With almost 3,000 videos up on YouTube right now, I've even taken a bunch down, or I didn't take them down, I unlisted them so people can't see them for whatever reason. A lot of them was because I had my identity in there, and now I'm a little more private. People just don't understand what is going on. Let's take a look at Bitcoin real quick, since we just finished dissing Bitcoin. Bitcoin sitting at 108,437. I mean, here's the thing. A lot of people, Bitcoin stackers, were super excited to see gold and silver take huge hits. Here's the thing. Silver and gold are doing better this year than Bitcoin. Even with that big hit that we took, that erased 2 weeks worth of gains, a drop in the bucket. Bring it. I'll take more even cheaper. People aren't paying attention to what's going on. They're not prepared, and they're going to miss out. I talked to one friend today. He wanted to get some. He said, hey, I'm not at all worried about it. I don't care. Let him give the stuff away. I'll just pick up more for my money. I ain't planning on selling. I got 10, 12 years before I retire, whatever the case may be. I ain't selling. And he's absolutely right. If you ain't selling, you shouldn't be worrying about this. I know some people have to sell. Emergencies come up. I see it in the comments sometimes, and I know some people, when an emergency comes up, they feel bad getting rid of their stack, but they can always buy some back, a little bit here and a little bit there. Gold and silver is money. It's designed to be a store of value for when you need it. If you need it because your car broke down or your AC went out or your main sewer line got clogged up, whatever the case may be, and you had to shell out some money, hey, that's what silver and gold is for. It's to store your labor and your effort and your work into something that can't get watered down with the printing of even more of it. Hearing more and more in the news now about penny shortages coming up around the country. We've talked a little bit about this. It's not the fact that the penny. Why do you think they want to get rid of the penny? I mean, you hear because it costs more to make the penny. Okay, let's call it what it is. The materials to make the pennies cost too much now. It's not just the labor, it's the materials. You got an opportunity to go out and get pennies right now and just put them up and possibly double your money. I had someone reach out to me today, and he's like, hey, I got a question for you, T. I got someone that said they can get me a box of pennies at the bank. What will you give me for it? What's it worth? Now anybody can still get pennies at the bank. It's not really worth anything. I wouldn't buy it for any more than $25 at this point. But I know once the banks can't get them, once all the banks can't get them, that's it. It's over. It is game over for the penny. And the price of them for collectors will only go up. And as they get turned into the bank and the banks eventually filter them up, that's it. People don't realize what's going on. Pennies are disappearing already. People that understand what's going on are hoarding them. Now, will it happen instantly once they get rid of the penny? No, it won't. It's not going to. Your bill that comes out to, $5.09. Yeah, I mean, they're hoping you're going to pay cash. Not cash. They're hoping you're going to pay credit or debit or whatever, digital money. That's the ploy right there. The ploy is if they start canceling out the penny, then they cancel out the nickel, then the dime, then change altogether. People will start to complain. Well, I'm getting screwed now. They're rounding up to the nearest dollar. Well, then, hey, use our central bank digital currency and then you won't get burned. Use your debit card. Use your credit card. Pay by other means. And that way they control the other means. Eventually it's going to happen. We will go to a digital currency. Am I a fan of that? No, I'm not. But is there any stopping it? I don't have a direct line to someone important. I can't call Jerome Powell and say, hey, we're not going to do this, bro. We're not going to accept it. I'd probably get laughed at if I even called the Fed. I don't even think I want to be on their radar. I doubt I am already, but, I don't want to be on anybody's radar. Needless to say, this is not going to end well. And right now, people have an opportunity, like I said, to pick up silver, to pick up gold. It's exactly what the federal bank is doing. It's what all the banks are doing. They're buying up gold. They're buying up silver. Industrial players are buying up gold. They're buying up silver. They know they're going to need the silver for bigger and bigger projects. They want to get it now, but we're seeing paper continue to smash the price down. Now, how is this going to end? That's what I hear a lot of people always say. How could this end, though? What could happen? They can keep this going forever. It's probably going to end when they don't have the silver to deliver. And then someone is going to blame it on a cyber hit to, the LBMA. Or they're going to blame it on an accounting error that wiped out everything. Hey, your trades are obsolete. We're erasing them out. That's it. No one's going to get their silver. No one's going to get anything they shorted. The banks are going to be off the hook. And then it's going to be a real price for silver. Well, what's the real price going to be? The real price could be in the hundreds at that point. You could literally go to bed one night and silver is getting beat down to 45, and then all of a sudden, boom, there's no silver. Reset the markets. Silver is now $200. 250, 300, whatever. Literally. And it could happen sooner than you think, because the amount of short positions that are getting pushed on the market is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I mean, think about it. If you have unlimited credit and you're living paycheck to paycheck, you can barely pay your bills. Hey, I'll just put my extra stuff on credit. And you can just keep doing that. Eventually, it comes to an end. You have to pay the piper eventually. When that day comes, what's going to happen? You're probably going to go bankrupt, because they will cut off your card. They will shut down anything digital for you, and that's it. You're out of money. Sell your assets, go to work, sell your whatever. I have a buddy of mine, he always teases me like, you're going to be selling that. I don't want to say ASS. But literally, I mean, who knows what could happen, when things go crazy. You got your opportunity right now to pick it up. $48? Yeah, I know that's spot price. I know you're going to pay a $2, $3 premium. Why do you think the premiums went up? Because the dip happened too fast. Companies are sitting on a lot of silver. And yes, the premiums will come down if they can, slowly sell off what they got, and then they get another shipment in, and that's it. And then they'll be able to sell it a little lower, and they'll make a little profit, and over time, they will just come more in line with what they should be. Or a couple weeks are going to pass, and silver price is going to spike again, because they're going to realize, I guess there's still a short at the LBMA. More people want to stand for physical delivery. We don't have the silver. Is China going to send us another 100 million ounces? Is the U.S. going to send us, New York Exchange going to send us another 100 million ounces? Maybe they will. Maybe they won't. Maybe they'll smarten up too and say, hey, where's all the silver going? We're not going to have any silver here in the United States if we keep this up. The richest country in the world, and here we are giving the number one and number two asset to other countries. A lot of people convinced we don't even have the gold anymore in Fort Knox. Maybe we do, maybe we don't. I've heard it go both ways. There was a lot of talk about how we were going to audit Fort Knox. Whatever happened with that? You don't hear about it anymore. You think maybe they showed up one day and said, we're going to audit it. We're going to take it a little slow. Show us your gold. And they didn't have any? Do you think maybe the Fed came and said, I hate to tell you this, the U.S., when they were spending money on the events in the Middle East, or when they were bailing out someone or whatever the case may be, they told us to sell the gold. We got a letter here in writing from so-and-so. They said sell it. We sold it. Now we don't have it. You look at the silver, U.S. Silver Strategic Stockpile Reserve. We had a huge one. What happens? We start selling it. And they try to hide the sales in the American Silver Eagle program, thinking that we won't notice what's happening. There's a shortage in silver, and it's not going to end well. I don't care what the paper price says. I don't even care what the spot price says, because it's all controlled. If the paper price goes down, the spot price goes down. That's what's happening right now. And people are just going to miss it. And if you miss it, that's it. And I don't say this to scare you, because this is not financial advice, nor should it be considered as such. This is my opinion. Everybody's got an opinion. One of my buddies says they're like blanks. Everybody's got one. You guys have the ability to pick up silver right now. Don't look at what's going on and let this blind you. Don't be psyched out. That's what they want. They want to psych you out with these devastating drop in price. And I'll be honest, it got to me a little bit, knowing that I could have waited a week and bought even cheaper. But it doesn't matter. I'm still buying. I mean, it would have been nice to buy a little cheaper, but hey, it doesn't change the fact the silver that I bought at 53, 54, I still got it. I still got mine. If the price goes down, I still got the ounces. If the price goes up, hey, now my ounces are worth even more. with that being said, probably going to wrap up here. This is a great video, I think. I hope you all enjoyed it. 44 minutes. I know a lot of people say that they enjoy the longer content. Since I have gone to the longer comment, not trying to cut the video at 15 minutes, it's funny because YouTube says 15 minutes do the best. But when I was doing 15-minute videos, my average video would only have like 300 views. Now I just said, you know what, I'm going to get out there what I want to say. And if it takes 45 minutes, if it takes an hour, if it takes an hour and a half. Did one the other day. It went an hour and a half. It's funny because it only had 400 views. So I was like, maybe an hour and a half might have been a little too much. But, you know, the views are up. Views are up. 45 minutes, 926 views. An hour, 1,000 views. 45 minutes, 1,400 views. Today, if y'all hit that thumbs up button for me, you leave a comment, something that just says good morning even. It helps the algorithm and it pushes it out even more to people. And the views are going to keep climbing. The subs are going to keep climbing. And you guys are a part of this journey. I've always said it. You guys are like a second family to me. You really are. And so we're going to keep growing the channel. We're going to keep spreading the word. And more people are learning about what the deal is with silver. As they learn, they're going to stack. As they stack, it's putting more ounces in our pockets and less ounces in their pockets. Big banks want to control everything, and they want to control you too. And if you're not aware of it, that's it. They're going to win. A lot of us aren't going to let them win. It's just the way it is. We're preparing for our own wealth, and when this wealth transfer happens, I want y'all to come out on top. That's just it. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you hit the subscribe button. You left a comment. And I'll see you guys again on T-Square Talk. Take care, everybody. Have a great day. I'll see you again. Let's see. Today is Thursday. Oh, don't forget. Put your comments in for today's Wednesday. Today's Thursday for you guys watching this video. Don't forget, put your comments on this video. I'm going to read all your comments on the Friday video. Or maybe I'll do a Saturday video and read it on Saturday. Who knows? We'll see what happens. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you guys again on T-Square Talk. Take care, everybody. Have a great day. Bye-bye.